NBC Sports, home of Super Bowl 56, welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Man, these teams have a lot in common. Storied histories, young architects on offense, the elephants in the room, both their rooms.
Rodgers!
The MVP who seems like he could just use a little more love. Too easy. And this guy, who was brought in to be the guy and still is. Well, until the new guy is ready to be the guy himself. Did you get all that? But hey, what else can they do besides what they do best?
Oh, you just keep on using me.
Remember, winning solves everything. And there's no better time to win than Sunday night.
The elephants in the room, ready for action. But first, to the field we go, and Michelle Tafoya. Michelle.
Well, Al, last season, the 49ers tied for the NFL's worst home record, 1-7. But there's an asterisk. In December, the team was forced to move to Arizona because of local COVID mandates. So the Niners haven't played a regular season game here at Levi's Stadium in 325 days. And the last time they played in front of their fans here, the 2019 NFC Championship game, 20 months ago, in which they beat the Green Bay Packers. Kyle Shanahan told me players who were rookies last year are getting their first taste of what he called the power of the NFL stadium. And he said that power will be that much stronger here. Our fans have had to sit and wait. I know we're going to feel them tonight. And George Kittle put it to me this way: the fans will be bonkers. This will be a complete madhouse. And to get things rolling, one of the captains of that 2019 NFC Championship team, retired left tackle Joe Staley, who's about to sound the ceremonial foghorn.
Come on, get on, I can't hear you! Come on!
So great to have the fans back. We did 2 games in empty stadiums here last year. Matt LaFleur has taken his team in his 2 years as head coach at Green Bay to the NFC Championship game, each time losing to San Francisco and Tampa Bay. Niners won the toss. They defer, and off we go with the Packers receiving the opening kickoff. And we start with a touchback. And we take a look at the Green Bay offense.
Aaron Rodgers, Butte Community College.
Aaron Jones, El Paso, Texas.
Devontae Adams, Fresno State.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Lakewood High School.
Mercedes Lewis, UCLA.
Robert Tunyon, McHenry, East Campus.
Josh Neisman, Virginia Tech.
John Runyon, Michigan.
Josh Myers, Ohio State.
Royce Newman, Ole Miss.
Billy Turner, North Dakota State.
And that offensive line is a big story, which we will detail. Elgton Jenkins, the Pro Bowl left tackle, on the bench tonight, inactive. Here goes Rodgers and company to start the game from the 25-yard line. On the ground, Aaron Jones, who scored 4 touchdowns on Monday night. 2nd down and 8. So Aaron Rodgers had a terrible game. The Packers were awful in the opener in Jacksonville, neutral site against the Saints. And then last week, a passer rating of 146. And he was back on the beam, especially in the second half. They were down by 3 at halftime. Again, they keep it on the ground, and this is Jones setting up a 3rd down and 3.
Well, this is very much a new look offensive line right here. You're going to see some power blocking happening up front here. Double teams everywhere you want to go to just try and establish a little physicality. They do not want to face the pass rush of the 49ers with this new offensive line play after play.
3rd down long, 3 on the game's first series. Rodgers empties the backfield. 5 receivers all into the pattern, and his first pass is right on the money to Allen Lazard, who's taken out of bounds by K'Wan Williams. So on 3rd down and 3, down the right sideline he goes to Lazard, the 6'5" wideout, for a gain of 42.
Al, you and I talked about this, but this is a team that's willing to come up and just show you they're in man coverage. And when they do that, a guy like Aaron Rodgers is going to say, thank you very much. That inside fade route to Lazard this time, he didn't really care who that was in there. It's just so difficult to cover. This time, K'Waun Williams unable to keep up.
Lazard had no targets even the other night against Detroit. So he goes right to him here. Play clock winding down to 2. Get it off. Then a dump pass here to Jones on a screen, and that'll be a first down as he takes it to the 15-yard line. Aaron Jones, as we say, 3 receiving touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown against Detroit. Missed a couple of games last year, but had a 1,000-yard season. Against the Lions, his numbers right there. They're going to go no huddle here. Quicken the pace on a first down from the 15-yard line. Tipped, caught by Rodgers. So it's his first reception. That's Nick Bosa who got in there to tip it up in the air, and Aaron right there to haul it in to keep possession. It will be 2nd down and 14 after a loss of 4.
Aaron Rodgers never got control of that snap. You could see him double clutching it as it came out and just had to do that, and that was all the clue that Bosa needed. Lucky that was the end result of it.
In his illustrious career, which spans now 17 years, that's Aaron's 3rd pass reception. 2nd and 14 from the 19-yard line. Again, they go empty. Blitz coming. Rodgers gets away, as he so often does, and slides to a stop inside the 15, and the flag is thrown. Jerome Boger is tonight's referee, and he'll make the first call. It's going to go against the offense.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 73. 15-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
Josh Nijman, who is the man who is starting at left tackle tonight.
Yeah, he is the 3rd left tackle, and you're going to see this inside move here by one of the very best in all of football. And Nick Bosa just going right by, and Nijman really no choice other than grab something. So he didn't grab Aaron.
There is Bakhtiari, David Bakhtiari. He was hurt last year, still rehabbing. Hope to have him back in about a month or so. We talked about Elton Jenkins, the left tackle, being out, and thus it is Nijman getting the start. And right now, after that foul, it's 2nd down and 29. On the ground, nothing doing this time. Into the backfield goes Nick Bosa, who missed almost all of last season, hurt in week 2 in New York.
Anytime you're in a crowd now, watch the offensive lineman. This time Nijman has to look inside and then try and pick up what Nick Bosa is going to do to him. Hard enough to block Bosa, period, but especially when you're having to look in to see that snap count.
So the Packers had gotten to the 15. Now they're back at the 38, and it's 3rd and 33.
Strictly playing for field goals here. You want at least 10.
Flip it out to the outside, and they don't get nearly 10. They get a couple as Davante Adams makes the catch. Gain of about 2. And in comes, for Matt LaFleur's team, Mason Crosby, who's in his 15th year. Little breezy tonight. Not much of a breeze. Flags rippling atop the goalpost. This will be a 54-yard attempt for Crosby, who bangs that one just inside the right upright. Good to give Green Bay the lead. 54-yard field goal, and the Pack on top. Sunday Night Football brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places, and by Lowe's, official home improvement sponsor of the NFL. LaFleur and Shanahan, great buddies, worked together for a number of years in Houston, Washington, and Atlanta. LaFleur taking his team to the NFC Championship game back-to-back. Shanahan taking his team to the Super Bowl, had a lead against Kansas City, and then lost following the 2019 season. His Niners get the ball right now, and they will begin at the 25-yard line. Here is the San Francisco offense.
Jimmy Garoppolo, Eastern Illinois.
Trey Sermon, Ohio State.
Kyle Juszczyk, Harvard.
Deebo Samuel, University of South Carolina. Brandon Ayuk, Arizona State.
George Kittle, Titan University.
Trent Williams, University of Oklahoma.
Laken Tomlinson, Duke.
Alex Mack, University of California.
Daniel Brunskill, San Diego State.
Mike McGlinchey, Notre Dame.
So here we go with Garoppolo starting in the gun. Samuel goes in motion, and the running back to start the game tonight. That's Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback. They got Trey Sermon, who's going to be the starting running back. Garoppolo, as you take a look at him through 2 games, a couple of touchdowns, good rating, leading them to wins in Detroit, and a grimy win, as Shanahan called it, in Philadelphia last Sunday.
That was a battle between pretty violent battle at that with this offensive line and Philly's defensive line.
2nd down and 6. Samuel goes in motion. They use a lot of motion. The pass over the middle, and that is caught for a 1st down. George Kittle so signals that as we take a look at the Green Bay defense.
Dean Lowry, Northwestern.
Kenny Clark, UCLA.
Kingsley Kiki, Texas A&M.
Rashawn Gary, Michigan.
Chris Barnes, UCLA.
Devondre Campbell, Minnesota. Preston Smith, Stevenson High School.
Jair Alexander, the University of Louisville.
Adrian Amos, Baltimore, Maryland.
Darnell Savage Jr., Maryland.
Eric Stokes Jr., Georgia.
Kevin King, who would be a starting corner. Illness and not playing tonight. To the outside, and Trey Sermon tried to get free but couldn't. He's the rookie out of Ohio State, taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Preston Smith. Speaking of the Smiths, Zadarius Smith also not playing tonight.
Yeah, Preston Smith out here on the edge, and you have to build a wall against the 49ers. If you let them get this toss and outside zone game going, it is just a nightmare of a night. So the Green Bay Packers are going to throw 1,000 different looks at the 49ers tonight to really try and slow down that running game and do what they just did, put them in a 2nd and long.
There's the new defensive coordinator, Joe Barry, in his 1st year in that spot. 2nd down and 13. Garoppolo fires. That's caught at the 40-yard line. That's Brandon Ayuk, who's only caught 1 in the first 2 games. Alexander makes the tackle. He's been kind of been the forgotten man. A lot of talk around the Bay Area. Why don't they go more to Ayuk, who had a great year last year? There is Trey Lance, who, of course, was the #1 pick, 3rd overall. They traded up to get him. The likely quarterback of the future. When is the future? Who knows?
Whenever that man says it is.
Exactly. 3rd down and 6 from the 41-yard line. Garoppolo hangs in the pocket, sidearms it, and that's incomplete. The coverage is right there. The crowd wants a flag. There is none. That's Chandon Sullivan covering Mohamed Sanu, and it's 4th down.
Let's take a look. Sullivan with a big-time play on 3rd down, really all over this one. But I think it was a clean play, well done. And really, Sullivan getting a chance to play because Kevin King, who had been playing in the slot, now is out with an illness here tonight.
Wisnowski will do the punting. Amari Rogers is back there. And the ball skids into the end zone. Beautiful down here on the peninsula. Marine Layer in San Francisco on this Sunday night. DeMeco Ryans, the 49ers defensive coordinator. Robert Saleh had been here for years. Now the head coach of the Jets. Ryans, young enough to have at one point sacked Aaron Rodgers during his playing career. Good linebacker in his time.
He might take a shot tonight, too. Who knows?
Packers start with A.J. Dillon now in the backfield. Rodgers, quick drop, quick throw, and that's caught by Davante Adams. As good as any receiver in the league at this point in his career, gain of 12.
There's no question what the Packers were concerned about, and you can see it playing out already. They do not want to deal with this 49er pass rush. So you are seeing quick throws, you're seeing screens. If it's man coverage, all right, they'll take a shot against that deep down the field, but Rodgers will not be holding that ball tonight.
Quickly again to the outside, throw a little bit low, but it's called in short game. That's A.J. Dillon, second-year guy out of Boston College. We saw him on a Sunday night against Tennessee last year with 124 yards in receptions. Did he catch this one? Take another look. Coming out, grabs it.
I think that's a catch.
That is.
And Dillon already with 3 catches. That's more than he had all of last year now. Unless you count that one twice.
Right. 2nd and 8. Good protection. Rodgers, a ton of time and a man wide open. And that's Valdes-Scantling. Threw it over the head of Tart, who runs him down. But last week, Rodgers apologizing to Valdes-Scantling. Missed him on 3 throws. Gets him this time for 48.
Well, this is perfect protection this time, and I think Valdes-Scantling's got to be saying, finally, 0 for 6 on all these deep balls that he's had a shot at, and no drops on the day. They just had not been connecting the way they did a season ago, but Rodgers unleashed that one.
Season ago, 21 yards per reception, was best in the league. They have it inside the 20. They hand the ball off here to Dillon, who picks up a couple. 5.5 to go in the quarter. When the Packers get inside the 20-yard line, take a look at this. Last year, 4 times out of every 5, they put it in the end zone. Highest in the NFL over the last 30 years. Rodgers, 35 touchdown passes from close in. And Adams caught 14 of those.
Down here you have 2 guys you really think about. That is Davante Adams, who's one of the most prolific threats in the red zone of all time, and Robert Tonyan, who turned into that a season ago.
Have Jones back in the game, flip it to him. Tries to get around the corner, nice little stiff arm there, and then thrust out of bounds after a short gain by Norman. It'll be 3rd down.
A good play by Josh Norman on the outside, and really this is a new look cornerback situation for the 49ers here. Emmanuel Mosley on the other side had been out with a knee injury, and Josh Norman said, I'm grabbing whatever I can grab, and he gave it back. There's the 2 corners. Josh Norman only got here September 5th, and Mosley hasn't played a snap yet.
They split Tonyan all the way out the tight end to the right side on 3rd down and 6. Rodgers under pressure, slips away, fires on the run to the goal line, and that's Adams making the catch. They'll spot it at the 1. And Rodgers has already thrown for 126 yards in the first quarter.
How about this 6th sense to know that Bosa was coming? Maybe you heard him whistling around the outside, ducks underneath it just in time to shoot it to his favorite target here in the red zone.
Drive started back at their own 20. 1st and goal now from the 1-yard line. Fake, then the throw, touchdown. Made it look so easy. Adams in motion to the inside, brought him back outside. Little play fake there. 7 plays, 80 yards. Vintage Rodgers.
Watch this. Go in motion, so they're going to switch it. This guy's going to go across. He thinks he's going in motion all the way across the field. All of a sudden comes right back out here. There's nobody there. Nice little pick by Lassard. Beautifully drawn up that time by Matt LaFleur and company.
58 regular season touchdowns from Rodgers to Adams. So Aaron Rodgers, how's he doing so far tonight? 9 of 9 for a $127, a touchdown pass here, and it's 10-0 Green Bay. Check out the Tonight Show this week. Some great guests. Seinfeld will be there. So will Snoop Dogg. Music from G-Eazy featuring Demi Lovato. The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon this week on NBC. What a shot that is. San Francisco, the Bay Bridge on this early Sunday evening. 10-0 Green Bay. And the 49ers will begin from the 25. Inside the 49er offense, it's a little different than every other one in the league. Take a look at this. Through 2 weeks, under center 58%, most in the league. Shotgun 41, that's the lowest in the league. Play action 45% of the time, highest in the league. And when it comes to shifting and motioning, it's about 7 of 8 plays, the most in the NFL.
There's a reason for it. We'll get into it here in a bit.
So Trey Sermon is the running back. He has company now in the backfield. They use a lot of motion here. And this is Deebo Samuel coming around the right side, but nothing happening there. Met by a trio of Packers.
Well, you know, when they were all down in Tampa and Kyle was a quality control coach, he used to sit in on some of the defensive meetings with Mike Tomlin and the Joe Barry and the guys that were down there. And when Kyle heard that every time somebody went in motion, up to 4 different defenders had to move and adjust, he was like, wait a minute, we should be doing this on every play on offense then. And that really was how they created this offense.
Second down and 10. Inside handoff goes to Kittle here. Gain of 7. You know, we meet with all of the coaches. It's so interesting. Guys with the offensive pedigree love to be with the defensive people. And the defensive guys like Brandon Staley, who we met with earlier this year with the Chargers, the offensive side.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And so as a result, you get plays like this. Everybody's in motion. Who's going to get it? Deebo? No. He's just going to be a lead blocker there for George Kittle and coming around. And so it's very difficult sometimes just finding the football.
3rd and 1 after a gain of 9. Now they go empty here. Garoppolo looks one way, then the other, then comes back over the middle, and he's lucky that one wasn't picked off. Intended for Kittle. And for just a second, it looked like the Packers were going to come away with the ball. It's 4th and 1.
There's a handful of quarterbacks who can make this throw where you step left and throw right. But this time, Garoppolo wasn't one of them. Here you got off stride to the left, tried to come back to the right, and very, very, very fortunate that didn't turn into a 17-point lead.
That was Campbell who got his hands on it. Punt here. Joe caught, fair catch by Amari Rodgers. The other Rodgers back to work. Less than 2 to play in the opening frame. 10-0. Aaron Rodgers tonight playing in his 200th game. So how does he rank through 200 games? Throughout history, 4th most passing yards. Touchdown passes 417. That's number 1. And pass rating, he's tops there as well, 104. Already has a touchdown pass to Adams tonight. By the way, Devontae Adams has now caught a touchdown pass in 10 straight Sunday night games. Loves when we come to town. Well, whatever town we're in, we're there. Where they are. And there is Devontae, who grew up in East Palo Alto, 20 minutes down the road. Inside handoff for a gain of 2 yards there to Aaron Jones with 1:45 and ticking down in the quarter.
Yeah, and the 49ers just made a switch. They brought in a cornerback and Diamador Lenoir. And so they're going to try and start taking away this passing game. And as Aaron Rodgers has seen many, many, many times, he's going to have to stay patient with the run a little bit now. 2nd and 8. He stays patient with a run here. 5-yard gain for Jones. We go to Michelle.
Well, Niners cornerback K'Waun Williams is questionable right now with a left calf injury. You may remember he ran down Allen Lazard on that first deep pass by Aaron Rodgers on their opening possession. Is sitting with a calf injury, just rubbing that calf, flexing and pointing. Doesn't look like he's coming back in anytime soon.
All right, thank you, Michelle. There he is on the sideline. Lenoir in for him. It's 3rd down and 4 from the 16. Will the Niners put heat on this time? The pressure on Rodgers, but he gets it away quickly, deep down the right sideline, and incomplete, and now a flag gets thrown. Intended for Lazard. Lenoir covering on the play, and the flag comes out at midfield.
Nice job by this offensive line, though. They brought 5 and held up. Yeah, there are some of those young guys in there doing well. There's Newman, Josh Myers.
Defense, number 38. Spotted a foul, automatic, first down.
And it is Lenoir, the rookie fifth-round pick out of Oregon.
Yeah, he's going to get a chance to do quite a bit, and I guarantee you once Rodgers saw him in there and saw the man coverage, again, the 49ers not afraid to just show man that, all right, we're going to do it. Whether or not that ball was catchable, they grabbed the arm. I'm guessing that's what the call was.
25-yard penalty. Takes the ball to the 41-yard line. First down. The ground again. Short gain for Aaron Jones, who's now already carried the ball 7 times for 14 yards.
Take a look at Nick Bosa. He is looking right at that ball. He does not want to listen to Aaron Rodgers' snap count. He knows how crazy it is, how easy it is to jump off sides. He said, okay, I'm just going to turn my head and look in there and try not to listen.
2nd and 8. Trying to draw him offside, which he does with great frequency, and knew that he had the quarter coming to an end. So pretty much just try to get him to jump. He couldn't here. It's the end of 1. Packers lead 10-0, and Sunday Night Football resumes after these messages. Beautiful night in the San Francisco Bay Area. Tonight's aerial coverage is being brought to you by Geico. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoy. Kind of fun to do a game this. I mean, we don't do day games, but this is like a half-a-day game.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. We'll have the Super Bowl sort of like that as well.
It will be, even though there's a roof on SoFi Stadium, but sun will be poking through for about the first half. As we go to the second quarter, 2nd down and 8 for Green Bay from their own 43-yard line. Rodgers surveys and throws to the safety valve. Valdez-Scantling. Flag comes in on that play as well. The Jerome Boger crew sorts it out. And the answer is against the Packers. Looks over at the 49er bench to see what they want to do here. The play was no gain. Gave the ineligible man downfield
ineligible
signal.
Player downfield.
Yeah, there you go.
Offense, number 73. This penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Yeah, he'd rather have him at 3rd down than 2nd and long. So it's 3rd down and 8. Play stands.
Robert Tonyan now has been tasked with trying to slow down Bosa on the outside, and this did not go any better. And Aaron Rodgers is now looking at Bosa. He saw his tight end getting run over, and he said, I think I'll just throw this thing over here.
Rodgers is 10 for 10. Adams in the slot to the left. Rodgers under pressure. Gets swallowed up for the sack at the 34-yard line. Eric Armstead, one of those who gets right in there to take Rodgers down.
Armstead out there working against the rookie Royce Newman, who's been playing well. You're going to see him just one-on-one on the rush, and that's what the 49ers are trying to do. Whichever guy gets the one-on-one has to win, and they can win all the way across that line.
Corey Bojorquez in his first year at Green Bay. Left-footed punter sends it down to the sideline and out of bounds. They'll mark it somewhere around the 20-yard line. So what do we have for you next week on Sunday Night Football? Perhaps perhaps you heard Brady goes to Foxborough next week.
And I don't think either one of those guys is going to be in a very good mood after what happened to him today. So we'll just put our hard hat on.
No, the Rams beat Tampa Bay. New Orleans took care of the Patriots. Garoppolo going deep on first down into double coverage and is picked off. Alexander, and he's back into 49er territory, and he's inside the 40 and tackled at about the 31-yard line. Pass intended for Kittle. Coverage was great. Pick off there. Green Bay in prime position as they take over on offense.
What a play that time by Jair Alexander. There was nobody in his zone, so you're going to see him go all the way across the field and make the play. As soon as the receiver on his side ran that dig route, that in cut, it freed him up, and with the kind of speed he has, he just ran it down. This was a good-looking play. It's a good-looking throw, but Alexander just beat him there. What a play.
Got position on the rookie Stokes, but in comes Alexander to pick it. Spotted at the 32-yard line.
Shire coming on a blitz.
And he's 51. Here he comes. Pass goes to Adams. Neat moves there. Devontae Adams to the 21-yard line. Should be enough for a first down.
You know, I think that this is one of those plays that Rodgers just can sort of blink out there, and Devontae Adams knows what's coming. He saw Alshire. If I saw it, believe me, he saw it. So he said, let me just go out here. Lazard, who's my best blocking wide receivers in front. And it just slows down the decision to try and bring pressure when you have answers for it consistently.
Not much that Rodgers doesn't see.
Well,
big hole and a big gain for Jones on the ground. 8 carries now, 25 yards. 11 yards there.
How about the bullies up front now? We're seeing the big guys with some double teams and coming off and just driving the 49ers down the field. I did not see that coming. I thought if any team was going to be the bully in this one, it would be the 49ers on offense. But these big, young guys up front are getting it done.
Jones again. Good gain here to the 7-yard line. Green Bay has already picked up 159 yards to the 49ers 25.
And Jimmy Garoppolo is over there looking for answers. He said, hey, coach, you told me if Kittle beat that guy, throw it over the top and there'd be nobody there. You didn't tell me about Jair Alexander coming from right field to left field to make that play.
And that Packer defense under some fire after the first 2 games, and Joe Barry, but playing extremely well to this point tonight. 2nd down and 6. Again on the ground. Jones tries to break a tackle. It's 1 or 2. Fred Warner makes the stop right there.
Fred Warner, Bobby Wagner, those guys, some of the absolute best in football, athletic. Both got paid, both very well deserving. And now comes down to likely coverage time. And really nobody is better than Fred Warner when it comes to coverage.
Both wear 54, talking about Wagner. He went to Utah State. Warner went to BYU. 3rd down and 4.
Have to have it for this 49ers defense.
And Aaron takes a timeout. Play clock was all the way down. So what? Aaron Rodgers, of course, all of the offseason talk. Would he, won't he? A lot of people thought he would never play for the Packers again. Well,
yeah, and then he held this unbelievable press conference, which I was out working out one day, and I said, I'm just going to listen in for a minute. I'm sure this is going to be the same boring stuff, and I'm going to be out of it really quickly. Rodgers gave the most open, honest, truthful thing that I think I've ever seen in a press conference. I wish that standard could be held to politicians and athletes alike. Just say what you got on your mind.
I'll tell you something. The truth will set you free. As you look at Mark Murphy and John Good, of course, the Brian Gutekunst, the president and GM, the truth will say, as you know, sometimes the truth will get you in a lot of trouble, but Aaron says it's just easy. If you tell the truth, that's what the deal is.
You don't have to worry about the story.
3rd down and 4 from the 6-yard line. Rodgers throws. Jones makes the catch.
Tackle.
Big tackle. That's going to stop him a yard short. Norman is there. And Rodgers looking over to the bench. 4th down and 1. And I can't imagine
they're going for this.
Of course.
Yeah, they're going for this. But one of the things they love about Josh Norman, they felt like he brought a little swagger. He brought a right hook, too. They just so he threw that right hook in there and got the ball out. He wasn't worried about the tackle. He got the ball.
Rodgers pitching a perfect game. He's 12 of 12 for 140, and it's 4th and 1. Dillon is the running back. Cobb in motion. Rodgers floating away, throws, and that's incomplete. Big stop when the 49ers really needed it. They get the ball. 10-7.
Well, this game is turned into Nick Bosa all the time, and here he comes. He's going to disrupt Aaron Rodgers, who bobbled that snap. We'll show you why in just a second. But Bosa has been applying the consistent pressure, and then here comes, watch the motion across, and the snap is going to either hit or almost hit the motion man, completely threw Aaron Rodgers off, and he was not happy about it. He got after the rookie Josh Myers afterwards. And if anything that Corey Linsley told him coming in, both guys went to Ohio State, was expect a couple of chewings out by Aaron Rodgers along the way.
Snap almost hit Randall Cobb, the once and present Packer, back with the team now. Meanwhile, the 49ers, their longest game, 9 yards in a game that's almost 20 minutes old. Over the middle, dropped. Trey Sermon couldn't handle it. He was the 3rd round pick out of Ohio State. And running backs, a huge, I mean, we were in Baltimore last week where they had all kinds of injuries, but of course their quarterback is a pretty good runner, as we knew, against Kansas City. But for the 49ers, man, they had to go deep. As you look at Raheem Mostert, who got hurt early, gone for the season.
He's the speedster that really makes this thing work. But Elijah Mitchell out, Michael Hasty out. So they've got a lot of guys with very little experience running the ball tonight.
2nd and 10, and that's caught, and that's Ayuk. And he gets banged down after he makes the catch up at about the 10-yard line, making it 3rd down and 4. And Chris Barnes is on the ground right now, the linebacker.
And here's the rookie, Eric Stokes, on the outside. He played really well a week ago, so we'll keep an eye on him. And we'll keep an eye on Chris Barnes as well.
Barnes, the 2nd-year linebacker out of UCLA, as they work on him. 10 minutes to go to the halftime. Back after this. Mid-'80s, Bill Walsh said, my #1 pick, how about this guy from Mississippi Valley State? How'd that turn out? Jerry Rice in the house tonight. Meanwhile, back we come, 3rd down and 4. San Francisco from the 10-yard line. And that is held on to by Samuel. Is it enough for the 1st down?
What a catch.
Savage was right there. Where are they going to put it?
Man, what a catch.
And they say that is.
There's only a handful of guys that can hang on to a ball like this. Perfectly clean play. It would have been a little forward momentum wherever that catch point was.
Right, right now they're gonna bring the chains in. This is gonna be extremely close.
It's just a matter of where they put the ball.
Well, looking at Terry McAuliffe, he says it should be a first down. And it is. And that is only their second first down of the game.
I just remember that play tonight because they're backed up. They don't convert that first down. All the momentum goes back to Green Bay again. That's a catch that not 1 in 100 receivers in the NFL or anywhere else makes. That was a big-time play.
Major. Niners have gained only 35 yards tonight on offense. Hand the ball to the fullback Juszczyk. Gain of about 2.
Well, the Packers have had a real tough time trying to rush the passer, so they're moving their nose tackle, Kenny Clark, to the outside, and he really gets after Daniel Brunskill here. Now, Brunskill is the only guy on that offensive line that wasn't a first-round pick, but he has more than held his own against some of the best in the NFL. But Kenny Clark, that is a double handful.
Picked him up from Atlanta, free agent, 2nd down and 8. Play fake, Garoppolo hangs in there, fires, caught 31-yard line. Ayuk is there. And momentum will take him out to the 32-yard line. Stokes makes the tackle. Everybody wondering when are they going to get Ayuk into the game? That's his third catch of the night for 29 yards.
Yeah, going against the rookie, Eric Stokes coming back. He really gives Ayuk probably too much room here because of the great speed that Stokes has. He'll start to get a feel for that, but Ayuk now has become a little presence in this game, and they need him to.
Longest play of the night for San Francisco. Now the rookie's Sermon up to the 34-yard line, 2nd down.
You know, Kyle Shanahan is truly one of the master play callers. I think we would all agree with that. And he's a guy that will end up on the other side of the field. So currently he is on the Green Bay 37-yard line all the way on the other end of the field because he wants to watch the defense. And the key for him is to not watch the ball. So he is not watching the football.
2nd and 8. That's caught. Juszczyk again gets taken down. That should be enough for a first down. Ty Summers, who came in for Chris Barnes, who went into the medical tent, makes the tackle. But Shanahan, very much like Sean McVay, he'd rather see it from back of the defense.
Yeah, of course. And he is thinking about not the play that is being run, but he's thinking of a sequence of 3 plays yet to come. And so they may call a play, and if the backside gives him a certain look, he'll end up going, okay, I know that that play didn't work, but here's why, because of what they did on the backside of it.
Play action, look out, under pressure, sacked. The 35-yard line. Jonathan Garvin will get credit for that one.
This is big time now for the Green Bay Packers because the first pressure really came from Tyler Lancaster, I think, with a quick win against Mack. And then Garoppolo just unable to escape the rest of them. But the Green Bay Packers have really been under siege lately for not getting those kinds of sacks. And now it's up to the 49ers to dig their way out of this hole.
Only their 2nd sack of the season. Before saying last night, we've got to put pressure on the quarterback. And they do on that play. And then Kittle is there to pick up most of that yardage and come up a little bit short of the first down of midfield. And Chandon Sullivan is hurt on the play. So he is down.
Boy, they are getting thin in the secondary right now. But George Kittle, one thing you don't want to do is have to try and tackle that big guy. And that was Chandon Sullivan who got the worst end of that lick because there was a hit from behind and one in front, and it really just was all absorbed by Sullivan.
Like he bounced off a wall.
They're about to run out of guys. Don't forget Kevin King wasn't able to make it because of an illness.
Injury timeout. Partner, I know you'll be happy to know TV's most anticipated new show is finally here. La Brea. We've been promoting it every week. You can see it Tuesday, on NBC.
I love that show, and I haven't even seen it yet.
Right? It's tremendous. Look at that shot.
Oh, they jumped.
They do 3rd down and 1.
It wasn't called.
No, they didn't call it. Trey Sermon is there.
And now it may be the 49ers that want it to be called.
So Shanahan looking as to how far they have to go. It's a yard. Came close. Looked like they might have jumped, but
oh, the snap was early. That's what happened. None of the linemen were able to move because the snap happened before everybody else got set.
So in an era when almost every coach is going for it midfield on 4th and short, in this particular case, Wisnowski is back to punt, and Amari Rogers sets up at the 10-yard line. And a whistle before the snap here. Delay of game.
Kyle Shanahan is red hot.
Delay of game. Offense, number 18. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Do you think they had a play on, a fake on that time? I don't know.
No, but it was funny when Wisnowski, when he said 18, he looked down at his number. Because that was me.
Yeah.
That was on me.
Hello? This is all about the great respect for Aaron Rodgers, because we're going to punt in this situation, which they do. He didn't want to give Rodgers that short field. And instead, Aaron at the 13-yard line. To the Golden Gate Bridge, back at 30 after this from AWS. We're back. You go back to 2016. There are the numbers. Rodgers to Adams. They linked up tonight for the only touchdown in the game. And this drive begins back at the 13-yard line with 4:48 to halftime. Dillon is the running back. Rodgers deep down the left sideline. The coverage is right there. Adams is looking around for a flag. Doesn't get it. Josh Norman covering. We go to Michelle.
You know, Al, it's possible that both Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers could be with new teams next season. So I asked Adams if he'd rather stay with the Packers or with Aaron. And he said, good question. I wish it could be both. There are so many unknowns, but I would love both. And I asked Rodgers about it, and he said, I sure hope we stay together. Davante makes me look good every week.
That was a great question.
That was a great question. Maybe a better answer he got off the hook from Michelle. That's hard to do.
2nd down and 10. Pass is caught. And that is where a tight end, the number 3 guy. The 3rd tight end making the catch for a short gain, 4 yards. 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur was not happy they lost Dominic Daphne, who had been their blocking fullback, especially against a pass rush team like this. They were going to play him at fullback, chip, and help on some of these guys. Right now, you're going to have Nick Bosa shaking that leg the way that he does. When he gets in that stance, you'll see that leg start shaking. That means he's ready to go.
3rd down and 6. Here they come. Rodgers launches one deep downfield, and that is incomplete. And a flag is thrown at midfield. And the Niners jump off the bench in unison. What? Mosley covering on the play intended for Adams, who wanted a flag on the earlier launch. Didn't get one, but gets one here.
And it's just the worst of all worlds. No way that ball was going to be caught.
Pass interference. Pass interference. Defense, number 4. Spot of the foul. Automatic. 1st down.
Adams was way inside, and the ball was thrown way outside. Mosley doesn't know that, obviously, and when that sudden jump came, he just hooked him. So it has been not just the big plays tonight by the Green Bay Packers, but the big penalties as well. That's what kept one drive alive earlier.
That's a 32-yard penalty. Under 4 to go in the half. To the ground. This is Dillon. To the 44. We looked at the bench before. They were working on Aaron Jones. Dillon was in there on the last series. He's in there again right now. Gain of 6, second down and 4. There's Jones on the sideline.
Yeah, he's been through a lot, but what an amazing back he is. What a great kid, too. Every time you meet with him, it's yes, sir, no, sir, and he comes from a military family. Of course, lost his dad. Our condolences to their whole family there, but just an amazing young man and a great, great running back.
Going again. That sets up a third down, third and about 3, with 3 minutes to halftime.
Yeah, and so now for Matt LaFleur, this half has gone really well. And now another guy down for the 49ers.
Checking out the player here, trying to identify him. Back in 30 seconds. Well, the good news is there's Dante Johnson, who was the man who was down, but he gets up and walks off. But the other side would be Norman walking back to the locker room. So Josh Norman will head to the locker room with less than 3 to play. Mosley and Lenoir are the corners right now. Wind the clock. Third down and 3 from the San Francisco 44-yard line.
And you've got the rookie Lenoir out there, what looks like man-to-man against Davante Adams.
Aaron Jones is back in. Stays in the block. Pass to the outside. And there is Adams working on Lenoir, the rookie out of Oregon. First down.
They actually disguised this pretty well because they ran the safety across the field, and yet it didn't matter because Davante Adams is so good at giving his quarterback plenty of room out there to make that back shoulder throw, and it's just too easy. Those two guys, it's really pretty magical. If you've watched enough football, you know how hard it is to be as connected as they have been.
2-minute warning. Adams has caught 6 for 54. Up the road to San Francisco.
Here's what's coming up on the Toyota Halftime.
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs lose for the second straight time.
And the Super Bowl champion Bucks suffer their first defeat of the season in Los Angeles.
Two pros. Halcyon halftime.
All right, Mike. Man, there's some crazy games today.
Oh, it was.
Like every week now.
How about Drew? He's a professional announcer now. He's already forgotten he was a football player.
2 minutes to the halftime. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Jones, somehow he runs out of a lot of trouble there and picks up 5. Second down. Well, it's 2nd and 4 right now.
I tell you, the thing that's going to make Matt LaFleur the happiest in this ball game is that these young offensive linemen have proven that, yeah, sometimes it takes double teams and it takes chips sometimes on the edge against Nick Bosa. But Josh Myers and Big John Runyon and Royce Newman inside, when you let them just come off the ball and attack and double team, they can hold up against a very, very good defensive line.
To the outside and turning around and making the grab is Adams. He is unstoppable. Beats Dante Johnson, who had no chance on that play, to the outside for 19.
Bill Walsh used to say, keep your head straight ahead if you're the quarterback, but not Aaron Rodgers, not when 17's on that side of the field. He said, to heck with that. I know exactly where I'm going. They've got a backup cornerback and Deontay Johnson on the outside, and this is pitch and catch.
Rodgers 15 of 17 for 178.
One-on-one again. Oh, there goes the safety that way. They have got to take Adams out.
And Rodgers takes a timeout. Well, he couldn't get it.
Still first down.
Before the delay of game. You don't see that very often.
No, and it's really important now on the outside. If they're going to double team, on Adams, they have to work together. The safety's sitting in the middle of the field and walks over to that side. And so it's really the cornerback's job. Don't let Adams get outside. Force him to your help, that safety in the middle. Once again, safety help that side.
Adams top of the screen, coming the other way. The catch is made, and pulling his way is Tonyan to the 3-yard line.
So that's how the game's played. So Davante Adams now is on the left. They've been forced to shift the safety over there. That means the 3 wide receiver side on the other side is going to be one-on-one matchups, and so they automatically go back there.
It's the 49ers who take the timeout, trying to conserve some time. 2nd down and goal. Trying to conserve some time to maybe get something going at the end of the half. For the 49ers, at least they will get the second half kickoff. Almost a 2-to-1 time of possession difference, and 3-to-1 in yardage.
Well, and the other guy that deserves a nod so far here in the first half is Joe Barry, the defensive coordinator for Green Bay. They were under siege. They weren't getting any pressure on the quarterback. Teams were running on them. And tonight they have more than held their own.
Yeah, they played 6 poor quarters, then shut out the Lions in the second half last week, and the 49ers through the first half tonight. 2nd down and goal. Cobb in motion. On the ground, Jones with a slip move. Started right, goes left, touchdown. There is your run to daylight. A lot of traffic to the right, so he goes to the left, and in they go. 87 yards, 9 plays.
Al, as I always tell you, if you need a tough guy to block Bosa, just put a wide receiver on him. There you go. Allen Lazard, let's at least get in his way. He tries to go hard inside, and what a move right there you talked about with Aaron Jones.
Crosby for the point after. A stunning first half. 17-0 in favor of the visitors. Real good one next week on NBC and Peacock. Number 9, Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish in South Bend, hosting number 7, Cincinnati, 2:30 Eastern time, right here. Niners from the goal line, Trenton Cannon. And Cannon into Green Bay territory and finally forced out by Crosby. Exactly what they needed from a guy they picked up from the Ravens about a week and a half ago.
Cannon shot out of as he comes out. Watch the gap that develops in here. There is just a huge hole. Very seldom. I used to return kickoffs. Very, very seldom do you see anything like that. And Crosby, who's been red hot as a kicker, just saved a touchdown there.
Knocks him out of bounds at the 32. Return of 68. Can the Niners now cash in?
Have to.
Bring Juszczyk into the backfield. Over the middle. That is caught. That is Kittle. 49ers have 2 timeouts. Coming up to the line here. It's a first down at the 22, conserving the stoppages. Under 40. And that is incomplete. That's Samuel right there. And stops the clock with 35 seconds. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and I understand the idea that you want to get the ball to Kittle and you want to get the ball to Deebo Samuel. But if you have Jair Alexander up there on Deebo Samuel, I think I'd stay with Kittle, because he is something else, and he's a danger to you anytime you're throwing it over there.
Kittle's caught 3 so far tonight. Move him over to the left side. Put him in the slot. Garoppolo looks the other way. Fires, caught. That'll be a first down. That's Mohamed Sanu. Garoppolo says timeout. 29 seconds. They have 1 remaining. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by the all-new Hyundai Tucson, our best Tucson ever, by FanDuel, Make every moment more. And by Simply Safe, professionally monitored 24/7 for superior home security. St. Francis beat St. Ignatius the other night to improve to 3-0. De La Salle snapped their 30-year unbeaten streak. It's their first game since that win. Meanwhile, first down and 10 now from the 11-yard line.
Al, I think they found something over the middle of the ball now because Chris Barnes is still out. They've got Oren Burks and Ty Summers in there, neither of whom have very many snaps at all. And so a lot of these little crossing routes over the middle against this zone has been what has been open.
42 and 44, their numbers. Garoppolo in the pocket. Throwing that's caught. That's at the 6-yard line. That's Juszczyk. And will they use their timeout here with 23 seconds? And they do. So it'll be second down and 5.
That was not a great productive use of that opportunity there. Aaron Rodgers, he's had nearly a perfect half. You know, you go back to the decision. Obviously, there was a delay before they did punt the ball, but they had the 4th and 1 at midfield. And my point is always, does it matter where you give Aaron Rodgers the ball? If you give him at the 50, he's probably going to score. You give it back to him on, your own 13, he ends up scoring a touchdown all the way down the field. 9 plays, 87 yards of brilliance by Aaron Rodgers may now be offset thanks to this drive.
And they can thank Cannon's run back if they get it into the end zone. Second down and 5. Garoppolo fires, and that is incomplete. The 3rd down. Looked like Ayuk was the intended receiver. 3rd down and 5 from the 6.
Yeah, they're trying to work this side over here, and it's just a balance. Kittle's going to be back here on the back side of this thing, and that one could have very easily been picked. Kittle and Debo, we've already seen what Debo did on that really tough 3rd down catch.
And now Green Bay is going to take a timeout. Last series, Rodgers to Adams. Adams did not draw a flag the first time, and then he does here, and that sets him up down the sideline. Perfect throw here. Defense has no chance on that one.
He's going, yep, I told you. But you don't want him. How many times have we seen that back shoulder play between those two? You want to run a slant, you want to run inside where my safety help is, fine. You can't lose the game to Davante Adams running those back shoulder plays. They're just too good.
3rd and 5, no timeouts. Garoppolo throws, and that's incomplete in the end zone. Everybody looking for a flag.
Got it.
And they get one in the back of the end zone. Flag on Stokes. Mohamed Sanu, the intended receiver.
Defense, number 21. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball placed at the 1-yard line. First down.
Stokes, their top draft pick out of Georgia.
It is not easy being a defensive back in the league, and in college football, you can get away with a little bit more of this. Up the field, he's got him hooked right there. Pretty easy call.
And that puts the ball at the 1-yard line with 19 seconds.
Takes a lot of guts to try and run it. You almost have to throw it.
Flag is thrown, and Garoppolo fires into the end zone, and that's incomplete. Samuel couldn't hold it.
Somebody else did.
That snap was not perfect. Garoppolo had to wait for it and kind of reach for it, and then rolls out. We have 11 seconds, and let's see about this call.
That's a killer penalty right there.
Oh,
got
absolutely.
it on the 1.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one by each team. Illegal use of hands. Defense, number 94. Holding. Offense, number 60. These fouls offset. Replay, first down.
Major break for the 49ers there.
I think those guys were playing against each other. Dean Lowry right there and Daniel Brunskill, they fouled each other. That's what this game's turned into. So far, they got the hands under the face mask there, and really it almost sort of forced Brunskill to hold on the way back. No option really to run right now unless you have great courage.
Nope, because you can't stop the clock. And Green Bay will take a timeout. That is their third and final.
Good stuff, huh?
You know, it's very interesting stuff. It's been all Green Bay basically in the first half. And then, you know, Cannon's one of those guys because of all of the injuries to the running backs. You know, they go deep down. They go to, he was with Carolina, then he was with Baltimore. Called him up, drove from Baltimore to White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, where they trained between games in the East. And here he is, getting them back in the game.
You know everything.
Oh, I don't know anything.
Travel schedules, hotels.
Travel schedules, I know. First and goal. Garoppolo fires and drop. Trying to hit Ayuk. So now it's second and goal.
I tell you, they're trying to draw the coverage up and get it in behind. And I tell you, Al, there's some times right now that like a naked bootleg or a keeper or something bizarre, you could still throw it away and kick it. But it might just pop wide open.
We got 7 seconds and Garoppolo dancing. The last thing he wants to do is take a sack here. Whoa. 2 seconds. You got Preston Smith coming in. Rule it incomplete.
Jerome Boger took his sweet time to call that one incomplete. Yes. I wasn't sure what it was going to be.
And now they're going to send out.
On the field.
Maybe. I see Trey Lance out there on the field.
So Lance comes out. He's their #1 pick.
Now this more than likely is a run.
Has to be. Well, you can do anything right now with 2 seconds. They bring Lance in, his first play since opening day when he threw a touchdown pass and ran a couple of times. And here goes the rookie around the left side, and in he goes for the touchdown. Man, oh man. Behind Trent Williams, the great left tackle. Cannon sets it up with a 68-yard run back. Lance comes in, the guy they traded up for, gave away the store. And his first payoff is right here.
All the receivers on that side of the field. And watch, I think it was Alex Mack who came all the way down the line to get a piece of Adrian Amos. And that was the difference. Amazing he was able to get there. There was nobody else. The veteran Alex Mack out of nowhere made one of the plays of the night.
Robbie Gould. So the Niners, for all the world, looked like they'd be down 17-0. Instead it's 17-7, and they will get the second half kickoff. Coming up next, Toyota halftime. Mike, Tony, and Drew to tell you what is on tap. Go, guys.
Tonight's first half highlights are brought to you by Chevrolet.
Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. It's Green Bay and San Francisco on Sunday Night Football. From the 1-yard line. In the throw, touchdown. So easy. Vintage Rogers. Garoppolo going deep and is picked off.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
So here's the buzz right now. 17-7 Green Bay is our halftime score. Rodgers 16 of 18. He's been razor sharp. Garoppolo has thrown for 91 yards. And then Lance came in to score that touchdown. Adams a big first half with 7 catches for 73. And Aaron Jones with 5 touchdowns this season. 4 last week. Tied for the most in the NFL. And of course Trey Lance comes in for 1 snap. Takes it in for the touchdown to get him back into the game after Cannon's 68-yard return. 49ers get the ball to start the second half. Crosby sends it down toward the end zone where Cannon is there. Can he do it again from the 2-yard line? Tripped up at the 17. I tell you, LaFleur was really hot at the end of the half and gave it to the referee, Jerome Boger. He wanted intentional grounding here. Garoppolo on the play before the touchdown, looking over the middle, never really gets outside the tackle box, is going down for the sack, gets it away. No receiver is really in the area, and here he was with Boger walking off the field at halftime.
And Garoppolo took one heck of a hit on that play. You don't know whether or not Trey Lance had to come into the game at that point.
Here's Garoppolo rolling, throws this time, shoots a dart to Kittle, and Kittle just forces his way to the 24. Down to Michelle.
Yeah, I spoke with Matt LaFleur as he came out of the locker room, a little calmer at that point, but he said that cost us 7 points, and our defense is doing everything we can out there. It was a critical point in the game. You don't want it to come down to officiating. I spoke to Kyle Shanahan. He said after finally scoring right before the end of the half, I asked him, will we be seeing more of Trey Lance? And he said, no, it was just the right moment for that play call.
Boy, was it ever on 2nd down and 3. And here goes Trey Sermon. And that's what you could see LaFleur saying to Boger, you cost us 7 points, and there was an adjective thrown in there as well.
Yeah, football is known for adjectives. We're good at those things. And I tell you, they're pretty good at Green Bay now, going around some of these attempted blocks. That time Alex Mack tried to get a reach block, and this guy ended up jumping right in front, Kenny Clark.
Here's Lance. It was the right time then, and it's the right time now. Top pick out of North Dakota State, who played only one game last year. And then Juszczyk takes the snap. And on 3rd and 1, Juszczyk was in motion, came under center, took the snap, picks up the first down.
Have you ever seen a magician? You know, it's about the illusion. Like, look over here, and then something's going to happen over there. So they put Trey Lance in the game, so everybody's looking at Trey Lance. They're going to do that again. Then Juszczyk comes down in motion, goes quarterback sneak, and picks it up.
Beautiful.
Great play design.
So Lance back on the bench right now, 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. And Garoppolo, the fake, throws Samuel on the outside. Plenty of room. To the 48-yard line goes Debo. Tackled by Adrian Amos there. Gain of 19.
So there's 3 guys on that side of the ball. You can see didn't even have the laces on that one. But when the end guy on the line of scrimmage decided to rush, that left only 2 out there. And now I think the 49ers have to start to establish their physical players on the field. Oh my gosh, and I was going to talk about Debo Samuel and George Kittle, and there he is, Benno.
Hobbled off from the 47-yard line. Big gain here for Sermon, and the Ohio State rookie, who last year was taking his handoffs from Justin Fields, takes it all the way to the 36 of Green Bay. 16 yards.
Yeah, let's start with Trent Williams back here. So everything's going to go that way. They're going to get a push, and then the lane is going to be right back there. And for Trey Sermon, sort of his gift is also his curse. When he first came in with the 49ers, he would do a lot of moves. He's an elusive big guy, and they are training him hard. Just one cut, get downhill. And that's exactly what he did there.
Spent 3 years at Oklahoma, final year with the Buckeyes. Here comes Ayuk on the end around. Ayuk inside the 30, behind a George Kittle block.
And this is what Shanahan will do to you. One play leads to another play. So now they had the big run on the previous play. Now let's fake the run and let's go with the reverse. So you talk about the sequencing of plays that Shanahan puts together, but they've got to have a couple of plays work before you can get to plays 2, 3, and 4.
Of course, his father was pretty good at play calling as well. Father Michael won a couple of Super Bowls with Elway and company in Denver. Sermon, he gets the first down to the 25-yard line.
So now the challenge begins for the Green Bay Packers on defense, and you can see that vibration machine there trying to loosen up that arm.
Those are good.
Yeah, and and so, but now their rotation starts with the defensive line, so they've got their starters back in there right now. So this is when they need to make a stand.
Eighth play of the drive. Samuel is back in there. Flip it to him. It's spun down right away. Devondre Campbell picked him up as a free agent from the Cardinals. Second down and 9.
The one thing I'll say is that nobody pays attention to Jimmy Garoppolo. When Jimmy Garoppolo makes a handoff, then nobody's worried about him running. Trey Lance is in the game right there. There was a half a football field on the other side to run, and there was one cornerback over there. So when you talk about why did they make the move, because you put a mobile quarterback in with all of this stuff, it's really tough to defend.
One of the reasons they spent all of that draft capital to trade up and get him. Second and 9 off the fake, swinging to the outside, and nothing happening there. That's Campbell again taking Sermon down, setting up third down and long.
I tell you this, Devondre Campbell has been a bit of a godsend. He's their leading tackler out there, but he is athletic. He can really run. 4'5'8" guy, just has been playing sideline to sideline. You just wonder where the Green Bay Packers would be defensively if they had not signed him.
Niners have had the ball for the entire quarter to this point. Third down and 9.
This is a big blitz down here because they can make you throw it hot.
Good protection. Fires. Leaping catch made inside the 10 by Deebo Samuel. First and goal. And Garoppolo wants to come up without a huddle.
They opted not to blitz, dropped it out, and just played a zone. But the protection was so good, they had time to work all the way down the field.
Little toss back here. That's Samuel playing the role of I-back. Second and goal.
There have been so many times we've seen the San Francisco 49ers behind, and the offense starts to go, here's a play for Deebo, here's a play for George Kittle, here's a play for Deebo, and there's reasons for it.
Samuel again, the fake to him, Garoppolo. A lot of time, and then throws that one over the head of everybody. Third down and goal. This will be the 13th play of this half opening drive. Coming up next.
And you're not going to get man coverage down here. You're not going to get the ability to run one-on-one routes. So you're going to have to work your way into the end zone and stop, turn around, and there are going to be some tight windows. I doubt that you're going to see a blitz, so probably a 3 or 4 man rush and what seems like an army sitting back in the end zone right now.
They're going to send a few more. In fact, one from the corner, and the pass is caught for a touchdown. So they came after him. He's equal to the task. Brandon Ayuk for the score. Amos came. Campbell came. Put the pressure on Garoppolo, and they go 83 yards in about half the quarter.
They do blitz and go with this corner stop, and they run this route about as well as anybody. But again, the protection was there. So give credit where credit is due. Your offensive line has to be great in that circumstance, and they were.
Ayuk for the touchdown, Robbie Gould for the extra point. So the Niners score at the end of the half. They score to begin the second half. Not long ago it was 17-0. It's now 17-14 Green Bay. Ariana Grande is the new coach on Voice with Blake Kelly and John the Voice. Blind auditions tomorrow and Tuesday on NBC. Postcard right there, sunset from the Pacific. Back to Santa Clara we come. 3-point game. Green Bay gets the ball for the first time in the half. Kylan Hill running it back. Takes him down at the 25-yard line.
All right, let's take a look at the Walmart Plus 4K Skycam. Love this thing. You go to right inside the game, and Nick Bosa has been right inside the head of Aaron Rodgers all night long, whether it's trying to get after the passing game, the running game. He has just been a little bit of everywhere. You can almost get the sense that Rodgers, out of the corner of his eye, knows exactly where he is on every single snap. But 4K tells the tale of a guy that you have to block if you're going to beat the 49ers.
Number 97 for the Joey with the Chargers, who stunned Kansas City today from the 23-yard line. They begin this drive. Toss back here to Jones. A lot of room to run, and a nice tackle is made by Jaquiski Tartt. Go to Michelle.
Well, quick look at some injury updates. Chris Barnes is out with a concussion, but that San Francisco secondary continues to take the heat. Kawan Williams still questionable with a calf, but we saw Josh Norman walk to the locker room late in the first half. He is out with a chest injury, so it's getting thinner and thinner.
It is, Michelle, and that means Lenoir is going to see a lot of action here. Cornerback number 38, bottom of the screen, second down and 3. Rodgers to the outside. Nice catch by Adams, but he has to spin around. And Azeez Al-Shaair makes the tackle to stop him shy of the line to gain. 3rd and 1.
Yeah, that is strictly on Aaron Rodgers right there. That was a run play to the left, but he always has the option to come right back. So now the momentum has really shifted. D'Amico Ryans over there. If he has one great call on that call sheet, now's the time for it.
3rd, a long one.
They are flashing man coverage, but looks like they're going to drop out.
They do. Rodgers fires and dropped. And that's Adams. Pass a little low. And the Niners with a big defensive hold.
Yeah, this is when the communication between wide receiver and quarterback sometimes can get messed up. There's a slant. You can see he wants to throw it right off the ear of Al-Shaair, and maybe he thought Davante Adams would sit down a little in that hole. It was close, but big time play. That's what he's talking about. There's D'Amico.
Borges to send it down toward Ayuk. Ayuk will field just in bounds at the 20. Look for room, finds some. Brings it back to the 29 with a little less than 6 minutes to play in the 3rd. A 3-point game.
Now we're going to throw to the right, but notice Joe's helmet does not turn right until he steps to throw.
34 set.
That is probably as important as anything for a quarterback. We want to keep our helmet facing straight forward as long as we possibly can, because we're not going to telegraph the throw and give the defense a jump on the ball.
Bill Walsh. That was after, obviously, Montana had retired, brought the guys out. You could listen to him all day.
Oh, my gosh. What an amazing coach and what an amazing guy he was. And I tell you, those principles still apply everywhere in the National Football League. We've already seen it in this game.
Won 3 Super Bowls with this franchise. Here's Sermon. Nice run here. Gain of 7.
All right, watch it right here on the touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have his helmet pointing straight down the field. Why is he doing that? Because on the outside, Ayuk could run a post. That's man-to-man. So now he doesn't know. So he jumps out to the corner route and then hooks back off of it. But because Garoppolo kept his helmet forward, you just simply could not discount the fact that he was going to run the post, and it made the play.
Makes it 2nd down and 3 now. Pass out here in the flat, and this is Kittle who gets taken down by Savage. You know, Chris, I was thinking too, with Walsh, it's so interesting. Walsh and Shanahan. So when Walsh comes, he has 3 losing seasons in his first 4. He wins a Super Bowl in his 3rd. Shanahan, 3 losing seasons, goes to a Super Bowl in his 3rd year.
Yeah, I remember Walsh's
You think?
Super Bowl. Yeah, I got beat by him twice. But I think that there are so many extenuating circumstances that come with coaching. Injuries, they built through the draft, all those things come into play, and certainly for both of those coaches that was the case.
3rd and 3, Garoppolo hit as he throws, and that is Preston Smith who breaks up that play and forces the incompletion as Jimmy takes a shot, and it's 4th and 3.
So they end up with a blitz on the inside. They're going to bring here, come here, and so what happened was Trent Williams had to block down, so nobody on the outside had Preston Smith and just got there in time.
Wisnowski's boot. Fielded at the 9. Amari Rogers brings it back to the 14-yard line with 4:24 left in the 3rd. Green Bay up 17-14. So interesting, both guys, one guy drafted, one guy traded for, replacing legends. Rodgers waited 3 years behind Favre. And of course, Garoppolo waited 3.5 years behind Brady before he was traded to San Francisco. So each guy spent a lot of time biding his time. Involuntarily, but they did. Dillon's the running back. Start from the 14. Rodgers fires. That's caught. 9-yard gain. Adams is there. 2nd down and 1 as Devontae catches his 9th of the night for 83 yards.
Yeah, and right now the 49ers sitting back with those 2 deep safeties, basically inviting Aaron Rodgers to run the football. And a lot of teams are doing this to Aaron Rodgers and the great quarterbacks in the league now, to just basically say, you want to run? Go ahead. You got no problem with that. Eventually, you go on a 15-play drive, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to hold, you're going to turn it over, something.
2nd and 1, and trying to get that one, and just barely getting it is A.J. Dillon. 1st down for the Packers.
Yeah, we'll take a look at what Aaron Rodgers is seeing here with those 2 deep safeties. So they're just a gap short in here. When you think of great run defenses, it's generally because a John Lynch type guy is sneaking down to be that 8th guy in that 8th gap. And without that, basically the quarterback, at least mentally, and you do the math, you should be running the ball, but do you really want to take the ball out of the MVP's hands?
Otherwise known as loading the box, correct?
Ah, you got it.
There you go. From the 25-yard line, 1st down. Rodgers checks it off. Dillon fighting for an extra yard or so. Takes it to the 31. 2nd down. Speaking of John Lynch, the Hall of Famer, there he is. He and Shanahan coming in here under Jed York to resurrect the franchise. And again, in their tenure to the Super Bowl last year, a total washout. I mean, they were just decimated by injuries. Wanted to build that offensive lineup, and that they have done that. 2nd down and 4. Here's Adams, is able to slip away and pick up the 1st down. Warner makes the tackle there.
One of the big things we're seeing out of the Packers this year is that they're using Davante Adams in the slot a lot. And the reason they are is because of plays like this. Basically, this is a part of their running game. They're going to go down and block immediately, not only with Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but Robert Tonyan out there. And they're just going to try and spread that defense out a little bit more to open up some running lanes in the middle.
Rodgers is 20 of 23. Tosses this one back to Dillon, who cuts it back. Nice run. Up to the 44 he goes. He's 2nd down and 4 after a gain of 6.
Well, of course, we know that Matt LaFleur was here with Kyle Shanahan, and if they both had on the same jerseys, it'd be really hard to tell which offense you were watching. It is kind of the same thing, and a little bit of the same thing right now in New York with the Jets. His brother Mike is up there. He finally ran out of LaFleur's here in San Francisco.
2nd down and 4. Inside handoff. Dillon. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Niners trying to stay unbeaten. Green Bay trying to go to 2-1. 3rd down.
Javon Kinlaw is such a big part of this defense inside. Number 99, first-round draft pick. They need him to make a bunch of plays coming down the stretch, just like that.
Third down, 2. Jones, flank, wide to the left. Empty backfield. Rodgers surveys, fires deep downfield, and that is incomplete, but a flag. You see the flag come in, goes for the tight end Tunyon, covered by the middle linebacker Fred Warner.
Biggest plays in this game.
Defense, number 54. Spot of the foul, automatic. First down.
Biggest plays of these games have all been pass interference plays. Talk about what a great defender of the pass Warner is. He just ends up grabbing and kind of panicking. I think if he gets his head around, that's really sort of unlike him. You can get away with swatting at the arms and the hands and the hand fighting if you're looking back, but not if you're not looking back.
28-yard penalty. So the 49ers only 4 penalties against them tonight, but for 90 yards. Jones, a lot of room. First down will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter after 3 at Levi Stadium. It's the Packers 17, the 49ers 14. Sunday Night Football continues after these messages. Up to the moment standings, if Green Bay wins, they're in first place in the NFC North. Arizona and the Rams are each 3-0. Seattle loses to Minnesota today, and the Niners will either join the Cardinals and the Rams, or they'll be 2-1. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoya. Sunday Night Football, Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California. Good one. Green Bay led 17-0 late in the first half. Niners scored end of the half to start the 3rd quarter at 17-14. And Green Bay at the San Francisco 18 to start the final period. Jones to the outside. It's tripped up. Gain of about 4 there. Jimmy Ward comes submarining through to stop him.
You know, this game has really been turned on those pass interference penalties by the 49ers. Every single one of those, one was a 3rd and 4, one a 3rd and 6, one a 3rd and 2. So the 49ers would have gotten the ball back in those circumstances, but it kept those drives alive. Really, the difference in the game has been those penalties.
Every time. Give him a 4-yard gain on the last play, 2nd and 6. Jones again. It's a little something, and then he's wrestled to the ground there by Kinlaw and Warner. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Davante Adams is getting so much attention now in this game, particularly in the red zone and on 3rd down. You would think this is where we saw a season ago Robert Tunyon was the target. Number 85, their tight end. He has tremendous hands, only 2 drops in his career, and he is going to get less coverage than will Davante Adams in the slot.
Tunyon had 11 touchdowns last season. Had the go-ahead touchdown last week against Detroit. It's 3rd and 4. Rodgers throws and reaching up. Valdez scaling for the touchdown. Put it where only he could get it. The 6'4" receiver out of South Florida.
Just a huge mistake by Diamador Lenore, the rookie on the outside. He's in a roll-up cover 2. There is nobody underneath him, nobody. His only job is to know when that outside receiver breaks in, he has to get depth and take that play away, and inexperience got him.
Mason Crosby for the point after. Well, Rodgers was bummed last week because he had his man, Valdez-Scantling, 3 times. Missed him on every one, but not tonight. On target. Well, who would have thought that Adele would write a song in preparation for our game next Sunday night?
No matter what, it is going to be crazy for the next week. Everybody talking about that game.
Everybody. By the way, good tickets are not available.
No.
Cannon runs it back. And if that wasn't enough, Brady threw for 432 today in Los Angeles, so he's very close. And in all likelihood, he's going to beat Drew Brees' mark, most passing yards, and Drew will be on hand along with our whole Football Night in America gang. He'll be watching, looking on as Brady has a decent chance to break it in the first quarter.
Yeah, Tom Brady took off and scrambled with 2 minutes to go in the game. Our producer, Fred Godelli, almost had a heart attack.
We all did. Niners from the 19-yard line, and Garoppolo just does get back to the line of scrimmage. Gary is there. Second down.
Rashawn Gary's an interesting guy. He has made some real improvements. Remember when he was in college, he was strictly 4 units on the ground, both hands. He was a rush the passer, down lineman, made the adjustment to try and stand up, and he has gotten better and better and better, and thought he might have gotten the ball there.
Crowd look at the replay. They wanted helmet to helmet on that one. Second down and 10. Garoppolo dancing around under pressure again and gets swallowed up at the 15-yard line. That's Gary again, flexing his bicep. Third down.
I'll tell you, Joe Barry is mixing it up. We don't really know where the pressure is coming from. This time comes out of the second level, and I would think that finally they're beginning to see on defense what the Green Bay Packers and what Joe Barry had been hoping to see all along. They have done a nice job tonight. They have not been run over the way that some people thought they might in this one. And so far hanging in pretty good with the pass rush.
Third down, 14. Garoppolo chased again, throwing on the run, deep downfield and incomplete, and here comes a flag. Intended for Ayuk, and the rookie Stokes was back there. Says, I can't believe it, he says, in effect.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. Spot the foul, automatic. First down.
Let's take a look. Oh, boy.
35-yard penalty. Yep.
Maybe he did push him down a little right there. Yeah.
Yeah. He held onto that helmet for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, the midfield stripe. Garoppolo fires, and a diving, rolling catch is Sanu for a first down. Now they're going to race to the line of scrimmage, or at least start to. Did he? Whoop. Little bouncing ball right there. They come up to the line of scrimmage to try to get the snap off, but won't, because LaFleur saw the same thing you saw. So that will be challenged.
That had a chance to be a much bigger play. That was not a great throw.
Green Bay is challenged to ruin the field of a completed catch.
All right. The verdict when we come back. Let's bring in our 3-time Super Bowl referee, Terry McCauley. I just saw Bogle like shaking his head. This is real close. What you think, Terry?
It is real close. So let's go through the rule. He gets control of the ball before it hits the ground. So he has to maintain control when the ball hits the ground. We see slight movement at that point, but I don't really see this as a complete loss of control. I believe this is stands at this point.
Here's LaFleur. He throws the he's ready to jam, but now wants to make sure the official sees it. He still flipped off about the non-call on what he felt was grounding at the end of the first half.
Wow, this is about as long as I have seen.
It is, Chris, and when they go this long, doesn't
right.
that seem to indicate this should be stands? If you're taking this long.
I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be clear cut, or you're just leaving it
After
alone.
reviewing the play, the rule on the field stands as a completed catch. Green Bay is charged his first time out of the second half.
Well, like in baseball, the tie goes to the runner. Is LaFleur being told?
It's painful being a head coach, isn't it?
Tell me.
You're coaching against one of your best friends on the other side, the guy that taught you everything, and you want to beat him so badly.
Fourth meeting between these guys as head coaches. Shanahan's won 2 of the 3, so it's a first down. There's a gain of 16. From the 34, Garoppolo has to pick it up and turns nothing into something to the 28-yard line, and the snap from Alex Mack.
Are you saying you want Trey Lance that badly? Watch this. Turn one into a little run there, and Garoppolo was 4 for 4 on quarterback sneaks a week ago. This snap was obviously not good, but Garoppolo knew what to do. Just pick it up and take a bad play and make it into something.
Garoppolo, he's not a runner really, but takes a page out of Tom Brady's book.
He's also been taking a beating tonight.
He's been tremendous on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 when he needs to. 2nd down and 6 here. Garoppolo, a little shoulder shake, fires, Juszczyk, makes the catch and takes it to the 17-yard line for a 49 first down.
How many fullbacks in the history of this league are they running on slant routes? Every angle of disguise, he's coming in here and he has to make the play. That is the option that is open and no problem whatsoever. That's the reason this guy goes to a lot of Pro Bowls.
5 in a row. Ten minutes left in regulation. Garoppolo again, that shoulder shake, fires, that's caught. Going to be a 9-yard gain for Sanu, who is the man in motion. 2nd down.
It's interesting. I'm not real sure why he came off of his first look that was open. It was just a simple little 5-yard hitch route. It was there, but he came off of it anyway. Protection was perfect. He comes up with another big play. And now he's starting to get the ball in the location that he wants, which is up around the quarterbacks, the wide receiver's eyes, so they can run with it after the catch.
Juszczyk in as the fullback on 2nd and 1. Give it to him. Bounces off the defender, picks up the first down. Man, oh man, what a pickup he was a few years ago. Started his career in Baltimore, played his college football at Harvard. First down.
Aren't many fullbacks could do that either. He bounced off his own offensive guard, Laken Tomlinson. Of course, out of Harvard. Look at that, so you know he's smart. And watch this, he's just going to bounce right into Laken Tomlinson, regain himself, and still pick up 5.
1st and goal. Juszczyk in the backfield now. Samuel in motion. Give it to Juszczyk again. It's to about the 2.5. 2nd and goal with 8.5 left in the 4th.
Doesn't this offense remind you a little bit of the Ravens that we saw last week with all the motion and the misdirection? And, when they get on the longer drives, and here comes Trey Lance. Anything goes.
Lance playing the role of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. It's a good time for it. This is when Kyle Shanahan wanted to use it. Short yardage, red zone.
Second and goal. Play clock running down. Spinorama throws, and it's a flag in the end zone. The pass was low, intended for Ayuk. That was a second and goal.
They almost killed George Kittle on the play. I think that was him.
Holding. Defense, number 39. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
Chandon Sullivan.
Yeah, watch. As Kittle goes in and back out, he's going to get pulled to the ground, kicked to the ground, and then stomped on by the next defender as well. There goes one, there goes two, there goes three. And that's just one penalty.
Bowling ball. Garoppolo is back in. There were 3 tight ends here and a fullback. And the ball handed off for the touchdown to Trey Sermon. So the Niners answer the Green Bay scoring drive with one of their own. 81 yards in 5.5 minutes.
Nice move right there. Watch Darnell Savage over here on this side. Looks like he's got a clean shot in the hole. Nobody there. And just a slick little move there by Sermon. And that was a complete miss by Savage.
Robbie Gould in his 17th season in the league to make it a 3-point game, which he does. 7:48 left in regulation. Another good one on Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Royal Caribbean. Rise to the vacation. Come see. And by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 75 years of 49er football. Walsh, Namalini, Rice, Lott, Montana. All the way back to 46. There's Jerry and the gang tonight. Montana's old uniform. My name's Joe. Green Bay to get the ball from the 25.
All right, let's take a look at our next-gen stats powered by AWS. And tonight it has been the Aaron Rodgers show with these quick throws. 16 for 16 when throwing 2.5 seconds or less. And that really has been the difference. They've been able to neutralize this great pass rush of the 49ers because of what Aaron Rodgers has done with the football.
Thrown only 3 incompletions tonight, 21 of 24. Packers up by 3. Begin this drive from the 25. Ton of time, throws deep downfield. Adams cannot haul it in. And Davante is still down. So Adams took a shot. And all of Green Bay holds its breath right now. That man too.
There was a late hit coming across the field. And that was Jimmy Ward. Ball is out, and that goes right to the helmet.
Oh, yeah.
That is a knockout blow, and certainly care more about Davante than the penalty, but that should have been a penalty as well, in my opinion. Yeah.
And, of course, LaFleur knows it. Hasn't been a good night for Matt with the officials. Aaron knows it. And Adams is still down.
One of the really great players in this league down on the field.
Back in a moment. So Davante Adams happy to report he was down for about 2 minutes. Now he comes off the field. They put him in the medical tent. Should have been a penalty. It wasn't. We're going to get Terry McAulay to come in a moment after the play here and explain why possibly it was not called. So there is Adams going to the tent. Get a report on him obviously as soon as we can. Meanwhile, it is 2nd down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Alan Lazard is now top of the screen, number 13 wide left. Rodgers retreating, fires off the back foot, and that is incomplete. So Terry, we were watching this. Terry McAuley, how did you see that play?
So as we look at it, we see the back judge let the players go by him, so he's now behind the play. He can't see it. This is a new mechanic for this year. For my whole history, that back judge would be ahead of the play in center field watching this angle that you're looking at right now. But from behind the play, he couldn't see it at all. This is really a mechanical failure on the part of NFL officiating, in my opinion.
Thank you, Terry. Meanwhile, Valdez-Scantling hobbled off the field. Malik Taylor comes in, one of the wideouts, number 86, his first action. Play clock is down to 1. And Green Bay is going to have to spend a timeout here. That's their second. They challenged one time and lost a challenge, so they're down to 1 in a close game, which of course could be of significance. But the good news is for them, here comes Adams back into the game.
That was potentially a game-changing timeout at this point with him coming back. And Al, what we've seen consistently throughout this game is when the 49ers go to their man-to-man coverage, they don't disguise it hardly at all. Aaron Rodgers has gone deep every time. So if the 49ers feel like they can defend one more deep shot, you'll see it again. If not, they'll come back into their zone and make them work underneath.
Empty backfield, 5 wide.
2 deep safeties. They'll drop out in the zone, I think.
Adams in the slot to the right.
They do.
Rodgers overthrows Adams down the sideline. Jaquiski Tartt covering. Quick 3 and out.
They brought a little pressure off the edge on the other side. They got it to the right guy, but really never gave him a chance. The great back shoulder combination got stuck somewhere in between on that throw.
Rodgers 0 for 3 on that drive. Corey Bojorquez sends the punt. It's a booming kick. Ayuk backs up, fields at the 13-yard line. And gets taken down up at the 26-yard line. Kyle's quarterbacks, 49ers under Shanahan since 17. Garoppolo, 24-8 when Jimmy starts. Never lost consecutive regular season starts. All other quarterbacks 7-27. Beathard, Mullins, Foyer, and well, they put Lance in that picture right now, but we're not blaming him for any of this stuff.
No, it wasn't it interesting that Garoppolo was saying because they simplified some of the play calls for Trey Lance, he's much more comfortable out there and playing faster.
And he handled this whole thing about as well as anybody could. Ain't easy picking the guy from the future. And he's your understudy as Sermon gets tackled there by Smith at the 30-yard line.
But as we have seen throughout the National Football League, we had 5 tremendous rookie quarterbacks come into the game this year, and it hasn't been easy, right? I mean, this is a different game than college football. There is so much to learn, and the longer that Trey Lance can sit right there and watch Garoppolo play, the better served he is.
You're not talking to the Jets, are you? 2nd down and 7. Play fake. Garoppolo hit as he throws, gets it away. Sherman gets taken down in the open field by Summers and got a flag on the play. And Alexander blitzing that time. It was a 2nd and 7.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty, automatic.
And that was Alexander coming in from the corner.
It's a great job by Alexander. He saw his tight end block, so he comes in It's just that as a normal football player, not used to rushing the quarterback, you can't get used to what you've done your whole life, which is not hit somebody who is within a step of where you are. And so while defensive linemen know how to pull off of that, a defensive back probably would not.
LaFleur wanted some pressure put on the 49. He's been able to pretty much get that tonight. But that was pressure of a different ilk.
But that was strictly because the guy that Alexander had in man coverage blocked. That's the reason he blitzed.
Ball at the 47-yard line. Go with 3 tight ends on a first down. Little toss back here. Sermon goes nowhere. Savage is there for the hit. We're down to 6 minutes left in the fourth.
Well, one of the things about the Green Bay Packers with their 5 down linemen, there's Devontae Adams, so glad he's fine, is that they've done a good job tonight in stopping that pitch in that outside zone. So those 2 outside linebackers really have come up the field and created that wall they were looking for.
2nd and 11. Flanks Sermon out to the right. Juszczyk in the backfield with Garoppolo, stays in the block. Jimmy dancing around, stumbles, goes down, flag thrown, and that's Adrian Amos able to trip him up. But all these penalties are huge tonight. Most of them against that man.
Oh boy.
Or his team.
Tripping. Defense. Number 31. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
You don't see that call very often.
Yeah, he was all tied up with Juszczyk. And as Garoppolo started to scramble, watch this leg come right out and end up tripping Garoppolo. You were right, Al. You don't see that one.
No.
Once or twice a year.
But any defensive foul is an automatic first down.
It's a good call.
I think a whole low-light package of LaFleur tonight. Flipped off about the calls. First down. Garoppolo into traffic and incomplete. Trying to jam it into Deebo Samuel. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Alexander with the coverage.
It's kind of interesting, isn't it? You're definitely watching the clock here. And while you would love to go down, score a touchdown, take the lead, you also would greatly prefer that Aaron Rodgers does not get the serve last. And so there is a little game back and forth now where they would love to have one of those 4-minute drills that bleeds this thing down and eventually scores off of that.
And leaves the Packers with only 1 timeout because they've used 2. 2nd and 10. And look out, Garoppolo loses the ball. It's a live football, and it's picked up. Kenny Clark created it, and Campbell picks it up.
Garoppolo is saying, I threw it, which he did, but he threw it backwards. And so that's a fumble. He spun around, and he threw that at the very least laterally, if not backwards. Let's take a look. Even if he threw it backwards.
Rolling on the field, Green Bay ball. Garoppolo can plead his case. Terry, once again, come on in.
Chris is absolutely right. He threw this backward. There was no contact by a defender, so it's the point of release from his hand and where it hits the ground, and that was clearly backward on this play.
Little doubt.
And no contact was made with that hand. Nothing forced him to throw it backwards other than the fact that Kenny Clark was getting ready to hit him. Wow, what a turn of events.
Campbell makes a recovery, and now Green Bay has it at the 38-yard line. '49ers with their 2nd turnover of the night. Rodgers back to work. He's thrown only 6 incompletions tonight, 3 of them on the last 3 and out. Jones squirts through that hole and picks up about 13. Ward in on the stop. First down.
I tell you, these guys look like veterans out there. Josh Myers, John Runyon. Watch these two work together, but Myers is going to get that second block. You want to secure the first block, get to that second level. He does, and then picks off Fred Warner on the back end of that. Perfectly done by the Green Bay Packers offensive line.
Now Rodgers can use the clock to his advantage. Jones again. Warner is there. Gain of about 3. Second down.
So now the 49ers are going to answer that strategy with line stunts. So they're going to move those defensive linemen across the face so they cannot get those kinds of double team angles. Expect to see San Francisco again to be on the move laterally to jump a gap.
Rodgers bleeding the clock. Jones again to the 20. Big play coming up. Third down. Call it 4. 3rd and 4. Clock ticking down to 3 minutes. Jones gets up a little gimpy, and in fact so gimpy in fact that he comes out of the game.
He hasn't quite been right tonight, has he? He's been sort of in and out.
A.J. Dillon comes in. Rodgers using all of the play clock. 3 plays in a row. 3rd and 4. Timeout. Took it down to the end. And that's the last timeout for Green Bay.
Yeah, I think Rodgers saw they were bringing pressure off of his left side and just didn't feel like he had it blocked up. Too big a play.
Well, that could be highly significant as we head to the finish. We've had a few fantastic finishes already this season.
We have.
Tampa Bay, Dallas. Last week, of course, a classic. Baltimore, Kansas City. There's your QB comparison. Rodgers, the all-time leader in pass rating. He's into triple figures in his career. The league average around 91, 92. To give you some perspective. But Garoppolo's turnover the big play right now.
And then next week, we don't know if we'll get a fantastic finish, but we'll get a fantastic start.
Oh, we certainly will. All right, 3rd down and 4.
Let's see, are they going to show pressure again? Are they going to leave Mosley one-on-one with Adams on the outside? Right now it looks like it, but let's see if they drop out.
Got 10 guys along the line of scrimmage. Defensively, they drop out. Rodgers throws, and it is incomplete. And there is Mosley making the play. Adams was there, couldn't haul it in. 4th down, in comes Crosby and company.
D'Amico Ryans, the defensive coordinator, has the guts of a linebacker, which he was. And here we go. This is just one-on-one. You could see it coming a mile away. I tell you, San Francisco, they don't care. You know, they play like the old Oakland Raiders used to. They just lined up and said, yeah, it's man coverage. Take your shot.
38-yard field goal. Crosby hits this one with 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Niners have all the time they need. You got 3 timeouts. You got the 2-minute warning. 6-point game.
Yeah, and of course, few people will be flashing back to the championship game, and should you go for it, not go for it, you know, is still a touchdown's going to beat you here. Huge play. They showed blitz. They brought the blitz. Everybody in the house knew exactly where the ball was going to go. And Emmanuel Mosley playing in his first game this season because of a knee injury. And Aaron Rodgers cannot believe they didn't hit that one. It's great coverage. It really was great coverage. Did you see how he trailed him? He stayed behind him so that back shoulder wouldn't work. If they were going to hit that one, they had to hit it up over the top.
Never got his head around, but really didn't have to on that play.
It was just good defense. It really was.
All right, Crosby, the kickoff. Here's Cannon, who's run back in the first half. Made this a closer game, leading to it. This time he lets it go through, and we can tell you that tonight's aerial coverage is being brought to you by Geico. Home of the Niners since 2014, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. 49ers wanted to get a stadium built in the city, couldn't do it. A la the Giants. Warriors got their playpen built, but the Niners had to come down here about 44 miles south to Silicon Valley. From the 25-yard line. 118. Garoppolo under pressure, fires it to Samuel. That's dangerous as well. There's Campbell in on the play again. Second down and 10.
You know, Al, this is what I was talking about in the opening on camera tonight. Here we go. For Jimmy Garoppolo, he has a chance to beat Aaron Rodgers. Right now, ball's in your hand. You get 4 downs for as long as you want it. You have all your timeouts. This is your time.
Can he make it pay off? Second and 10. Sanu sets up in the slot. 4-man rush. Garoppolo fires, and that's broken up, intended for Samuel. Coverage on the play by the rookie Eric Stokes. 3rd and 10.
We're seeing some defense being played right now. Eric Stokes, who is the rookie, the top draft pick, all those things. Watch him. He's going to get right in the hip pocket here of Deebo Samuel, and that is perfectly done. Get his head around, get away with a little hand contact. Pretty darn good for a rookie. See Deebo, he's trying to hold him off with one hand and make a one-handed catch.
3rd and 10.
Middle of the field, that's where they've had success so far.
There he goes. Does again. Kittle trying to break free. Kittle is inside the 40 to the 35-yard line. Chased and caught by Alexander. 3rd and 10. Gigantic play. 39 yards.
Just have to do it. I mean, you have to let the big dog hunt out here because Kittle just, you know, is he a little push off? Is it legal? Is it not? What the heck? This is football. Game's on the line. And go to the guy that you trust the most.
Trying to get a play up before the 2-minute warning, but they could not. Had to let the Packers get some defenders on the field, so the officials held it 2 minutes. They still have the 3 timeouts. I'll tell you what, if they, well, we can tell you among other things. We're going to update, right, with Andy Reid. Felt ill, conclusion of the game, evaluated by the medical staff in Kansas City. A statement from the team, locker room precaution, transported University of Kansas Health System for further evaluation. Doing well, currently resting in stable condition. Our man Andy, and we wish him all the best. We'll get him in a couple of weeks against Buffalo. You know, Chris, I started to mention, if they don't make it on a 3rd and 10, do you go for it on 4th and 10 at that point, or do you put the hands, put it in the hands of your defense because you had all of your timeouts in the 2-minute warning and just hope you can stop them?
I probably would have gone for it. You would have had to burn all your timeouts. You're going to get the ball back very late, and that's assuming they don't pick up 1 first down. Tough call. I'll give you that. That's a tough call.
We'll never know.
We will never know. But now they are right there with a position to win the game. And, you know what Jimmy Garoppolo went through this offseason, right? I mean, Trey Lance and all the talk, which quarterback are they going to take? And he was disposable, and nobody thought that he would be any sort of a real factor in what they did long term. And yet here he is in this moment with this football team with a chance to do something really special, and that is come back from behind when Aaron Rodgers had the big lead.
Trying to beat that guy whose successor is already in waiting in Jordan Love. So both these guys followed legends, and now they're kind of like in a position where the new guy in town may take over at some point, sooner than later. Who knows? First things first. Ball at the 36-yard line. Rush 4. Over the middle into traffic. Ooh, dangerous. Samuel is there. Savage covering on the play, the appropriately named one. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, but that's one you put in the back of your mind right now. That safety is going to come down and play that crossing route that hard. That means there's going to be opportunities in behind him. I'm not so sure I wouldn't call the same play with some extra route that says you want to be that aggressive. Let's see how we can take advantage of it.
Garoppolo to the outside, errant. Dean Lowry forced that issue. Good rush. Here we are again on a 3rd and 10.
Now this is the old pick tough play here. Dean Lowry is on the outside. He's trying to set up his buddy to come around. Here's Lowry. He's going to go out and knock off that tackle to allow Preston Smith to come looping around. But then he had the clear shot to the quarterback because he did such a good job on his job.
Converted the last 3rd and 10. What happens here? Garoppolo firing, and it's going to be hauled in. What a catch at the 25 by Samuel. Covered by Alexander. He had him blanketed. Made the grab.
All that rebound position was all that was. And for Garoppolo, he was getting drilled and barely got anything on the throw. And Debo just, I don't know how he caught that ball. I have no idea.
5th catch of the night from him. 1st down from the 24. Garoppolo fires to the outside. That's caught. And Kittle is trying to get out of bounds. It barely matters. They've got 3 timeouts.
Yeah,
didn't get out of bounds. He's not out of bounds, but the clock will run down. They still have the 3 timeouts.
And they want to go back to the huddle. They want this clock running right now. You do not want to stop it. Plenty of timeouts. All 3 timeouts. You want to milk this thing down. You have to assume you're going to score a touchdown.
Don't give the other guy the ball at the end. At the 12. Garoppolo over the middle. That's caught. Juszczyk. Can he get in? Yes, he can. Touchdown, San Francisco. Two-minute drive, 75 yards, all passes. 8 plays.
The George Kittle effect. Juszczyk's going to come out here. Man-to-man coverage is going to be on him. But his defender tried to check Kittle on the outside to give him a little bump. And that allowed just enough room for Kyle Juszczyk. What a drive by Jimmy Garoppolo.
Robbie Gould for the lead. Yes, sir. 28-27 San Francisco with 37 seconds for that man without a timeout to try to get him into field goal range.
Take a look. Here's Kittle. Here's the man coverage guy right here. He's going to try and get a little shot on Kittle because you assume that's the target. But no, it's the fullback. The fullback with the game on the line. Kyle Juszczyk with what they hope is the game winner. Look at Garoppolo.
Yeah.
If anybody deserves to celebrate a little bit, that guy certainly does.
Yeah,
He's been through a lot.
He handled it all with extreme class. They kept him abreast of it, though. That was one thing that was different than Green Bay. You know, Rodgers was so flipped off because they didn't know Jordan Love was going to be the guy in the draft that night. But they told Jimmy, hey, listen, here's what we're doing. We're trading up for number 3. Everybody thought it would be Mac Jones who winds up in New England. Instead, it's Lance, and now we'll see what Rodgers has up his sleeve.
And don't forget now that all they need is a field goal, and their field goal kicker, Mason Crosby, has been red hot.
Well, we saw a game end on a 66-yarder today by Justin Tucker. So Rodgers will start from the 25-yard line. Crosby keeps warm. Crowd keeping warm. No crowds in here for a long time.
Al, a sack would just about end this game. If there was ever a time for the 49ers to get one, this would be it.
They send 4. 7 back. Rodgers fires over the middle. Caught Adams. Adams will try to get out of bounds. He's at the 49-yard line. He stopped there. Rodgers will come up and spike it. 25 yards to Davante. Now down to 20 seconds. Meanwhile, for Adams tonight, 11 catches for 115.
You have to know in this situation that they're going to drive you deep and somebody's going to come across. So those linebackers have to get deep, deep, deep. And that time, Fred Warner just not deep enough. Went over his hand by a foot.
5 wide from the 50. Rodgers throws incomplete. Tended there for Adams. He was in a blanket of defenders. That took 4 seconds. 16 ticks left.
Yeah, now you've got the issue. If you complete one in the middle of the field, you have to have that field goal team ready to come sprinting on there.
Absolutely. You got a 3rd and 10 here. Don't forget, you get the spike. That created 2nd down. Now it's 3rd and 10. Crowd roaring. Rodgers fires, caught.
You got to go.
32. He gives himself up. That's a first down. Can he spike it here? Can they get lined up? They do. And Mason Crosby will try to win the game. Wow. So 32, you're talking about a 50-yard field goal.
They played it soft again. They didn't have anybody drop underneath Davante Adams, where everybody in the house knew where that ball was going to go. The safeties were deep, and nobody was there at that intermediate level. Nobody.
Counting postseason, Crosby has made his last 25 attempts. 51 yards. Timeout, San Francisco. Michelle.
Yeah, I spoke with Mason Crosby before the game, guys. His pregame long in this direction was 53 yards. Our SNF Kicks technology said it would have been good from 61. He said 56 was his range. He watched Justin Tucker today, too, in awe, and said there's no way I can do that, but put me in the position to win the game. I want to be there.
And he is right now 54 yards and 38 yards. His 2 makes tonight.
Career long 58. He's certainly capable here and one of the most respected members of this team, and that is not always said about a kicker.
Bojorquez to hold it. Crosby to try to win it. And the kick is good to win the game. The 49ers couldn't take enough time off the clock at the end. All Aaron needed was 37 seconds.
You know, Al, I was thinking when Juszczyk was down there, if they had actually made that tackle, it would have played greatly to the benefit of the 49ers.
No question. Had they eventually scored, but he thrust his way into the end zone. What a game. What a game. And what a distraction Rodgers was in preseason, huh? Take a look at this.
I mean, that's greatness.
Yes,
you know, it's great. It was greatness in both directions.
Tremendous. Crosby, 26 straight from 51 out. There he is, a lifetime Packer, drafted by them in 07. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I think he's pretty fully invested in this thing. After the craziest of off seasons, Jimmy G gave it his all. They play Seattle next week. Here's LaFleur. So many calls go against him tonight. But at the end, They ride home a winner, and Kittle, meanwhile, sees his team go to 2-1. And for Adams tonight, there he is. Took that shot, was down for 2 minutes. And that is a celebration of celebrations right there.
The great thing about this game is sometimes it feels like a high school game out here.
It does. Post-game show coming right up after these messages.